Hi. Oh, it's okay. Welcome. Roxy Rose is wondering who and what's going on here. The golfer and I are here. We're by ourselves. It's very quiet.
So romantic.
It's very romantic. House is quiet. You've just got Roxy, you've got Bridget and Bronco, and Margaret McRobert is watching. She's joined us. Hi, good evening, Margaret. 6 o'clock, Monday, the 99th kitchen concert. Unbelievable. Nancy, hello. It's great to welcome you as well. Nancy Skade. Excellent. I'm hoping that I'm the right way up. Christine McPhail is watching. Oh, there's heaps of people joining us. Margaret Reid Mackenzie, evening from Avach. Rhoda MacDonald, hi folks. Wilma McDermott.
Och, not Avach.
Vo.
Oh, right, I thought you said.
What would you like me to say?
That's
Avach.
okay. No, it's Och.
Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Where is it?
A-V. Och, the Black Isle.
Is it, and do they just call it Och?
Yes.
Like Och. What do I know? Och. I know nothing.
A-V-O-C-H.
Judy McPherson, wow, 99. I can't believe it myself. Judy. Mary Bell McLeod, hello. And Gillian, lovely to have you with us. And Colleen Mackay, Mary McLeod.
That's where that lady Patience lives.
Robin Cook, good evening. Fiona says Robin. And Gordon and Sheila Murray are watching from St Andrews, and Effie MacDonald and Elma McGuigan. Great to see you, Elma. And Patricia Watson, Margaret Tyndall, Agnes Fraser, Veskerma from Nairn, Veskerma from Blair's, and Sheila and Effie McLean from Ullapool. Wonderful, Effie. And Kirstine Walker from Angoulême in France. Laura Urquhart, hi Fifi. Hi Laura, nice to have you with me. Kate Coleman and Betty Young and Christine Hopkins is saying hello to me and the golfer. Norman MacDonald Crichton from Stornoway, I'm coming over soon there. Helen Forbes and Susan Ferguson, great Susan, and Jennifer. Patience is saying, well done Francis. He doesn't even know he's in the shot, don't tell him. Elizabeth Mackenzie. Pamela Jane Howie is in Arbroath, and Anne Houston is in Tain. Great. Betty Davidson and Marion Mustard. Wow, great. Jenny Paulson from Nottingham. How fantastic. And Annette MacDonald from Cruden Bay. Sheila Stewart, great. Linda Green to the golfer and the dogs. And Evelyn Greenlaw and Charlie Loy and Linda Patterson. Well, great. My word, we're way up beyond 100 already. Good evening. Would you like to say hello to anyone?
Not really, no. I'm just listening to you. I get so much pleasure listening to you. Speaking to someone else for a change.
He hasn't been with us for a while, i.e. well, you were in Barcelona,
Yeah.
and then you came back with some kind of lurgy.
Yeah, the dreaded lurgy.
Are you feeling better?
Marginally.
But you haven't got COVID, that's the good news.
No.
Testing.
Tested negative every day.
Tested negative every day. What a patient.
Yeah, a lot of sympathy going here.
So there's lots. I was going to start with something because this is a cappella. Hello from Jessie. Hello from Inverness, says Catherine. Watching in Mulgai, Uncle Alistair and Aunt Angela. Hello, Ronnie Land. I can help with the mini Sudoku. He can help you.
All right. Oh, good.
Ronnie can. Excellent. Don't encourage him. Let's not even get on to Wordle, everybody. Right, so just because you're so romantic,
All right.
I'm going to sing a song for you.
Oh, for me? Oh, sing.
Yes. Do you remember when we met? This is not going. USA's watching. It's not going well, USA, at the minute. He's trying to remember when we met. Well, while he's thinking about that, I was going to sing a cappella because poor Neil Burse has COVID. It's so many people are not well. Anyway, it's just the two of us.
Michael.
Uncle Michael. Michael's got COVID.
10 days.
for 10 days, Gillian Tebberin saying, "Say yes, golfer."
Yes.
Say, Andrew Smith, if ever you want a lesson in romantic phrases, don't ask him. Right, I'm going to sing this. Even though you're not romantic, I'm going to sing this to you.
Right.
You ready?
I'm ready.
That certain night, the night we met, there was magic abroad in the air. There were angels dining at the Ritz, and a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I may be right, I may be wrong, but I'm perfectly willing to swear that when you turned and smiled at me,
I'm smiling.
a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. The moon that lingered over London town, poor puzzled moon, he wore a frown. How could we know we two were so in love? The whole darn world seemed upside down. The streets of town were paved with stars. It was such a romantic affair. And as we kissed and said goodnight, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. Our homeward step was just as light as the tap dancing feet of a stair, and like an echo far away, a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square. I know, 'cause I was there, that a nightingale sang for Francis in Berkeley Square.
Well done. Very commendable.
Right, moving swiftly on here. Kirsty Forbes and Mary Fenton are watching for that completely indifferent response to Berkeley Square. But there is romance in the air, and I would like to say a special hello to Linda Patterson, whose husband is the head greenkeeper at Royal Aberdeen Golf Club. So he is also a golfer, more than a golfer. He's head greenkeeper.
And a very, very good golfer.
And a very, very good golfer.
Nearly beat me in the club championship once.
How do you mean he nearly beat you?
Well, I beat him.
Or did you?
Yeah.
What year are we talking about?
Back in the early zeros. He's a very competent golfer. Very good.
Well, it is their 36th wedding anniversary. So Linda and Robert, happy anniversary. If you're half as happy as this golfer and I are,
that's it.
you'll be doing
You're good for
really
another 36.
36 is great. And Linda said he's her best friend. She couldn't live without him. And he's a wonderful man.
He's never there. He works about 12 hours a day.
Well, Linda loves him, and that's all that matters. And I'm sure that, Robert, you adore Linda. And you have specially requested Mary's Wedding. Now, I sang it last week, but it doesn't matter because I sang it with Niels Elders last week in his lovely front room. Hello to Niels and Tina. So we're going to do our own version of Step we gaily on we go, you for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Mary's wedding. Over the ways, up and down, myrtle green and bracken brown, past the shieling through the town, all for sake of Linda. Step we gaily on we go, you for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Linda's wedding. Plenty herring, plenty meal, plenty fish to fill the creel, plenty bonny bairns as weel, all for sake of Linda. Step we gaily on we go, you for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Mary's wedding. Red her cheeks as rowans are, bright her eye as any star, fairest of them all by far, that's our darling Mary. Step we gaily on we go, you for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Mary's wedding. Step we gaily on we go, you for heel and toe for toe, arm and row, all for Linda's wedding.
Very good. Excellent, excellent.
Are you stuck with a clue?
What clue?
Give me a clue.
As the ladies listening will know, a simnel cake.
Oh, we all know that.
A simnel cake, and it has 11 balls on it.
Oh, right.
I'd like to know what these balls are made of.
Okay.
They're decorative.
Well, why don't you sit forward a little bit?
Well,
you,
they can see me, look.
oh, they can? Okay, okay, good.
So this cake, a simnel cake,
Yeah.
right, it has 11 balls in it, decorative balls. I'd like to know what they're made of.
What are the decorative balls on a simnel cake made of? I know what a simnel cake is, but I don't know what the balls are.
Well, one of my favourites.
Ah. Oh, well, now I know the answer.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
See, empathy?
Empathy. That's what it is. You see it all here. This is empathy. At the weekend, the golfer was not well, and I went up to St Margaret's in Braemar to see a fantastic one-man show, Jay Rayner and his Last Supper show, which was just fantastic. I mean, many of you will remember, probably like me, his mother, Claire Rayner, who was one of the best agony aunts. She was just brilliant and a warm, cuddly, wonderful lady. Well, Jay, her son, not only is he a journalist, a food critic, a radio presenter, television presenter, he is a phenomenal jazz musician, and I was just sorry that he had to go back yesterday. I drove him to the airport. He was away to the south of France today. Such is the jet-set life of Jay Rayner. Now, I got a book as a present because that's the kind of girl I am for the golfer. Have you got it there, darling? And one side...
My Last Supper.
Yeah, this is it.
Where's that one?
We don't usually advertise anything because I'm quite sure you sold gazillions of these, but my last supper, which got me thinking. I mean, he and I had a conversation about, he wanted what the difference was between a rowie and a buttery. Now, for those of you who live somewhere else, this is a rowie or a buttery, which is very special, particularly, I would say, to the northeast of Scotland. Wouldn't you?
Yep.
And actually, I bought this one on Saturday. It's gone a bit hard. I don't think we'll be eating that one.
Hang on with a bit, put it in the oven.
Well, you can put it in the oven.
Heat it up.
He's a true Aberdonian. Anyway, there's been a big debate about rows, so I told Jay Rayner, I mean, as if I could tell that great man anything at all, that actually a rowie and a buttery are the same thing, aren't they?
Yes.
Yes. So, as opposed to a fancy piece, which could be misconstrued, because, well, a fancy piece... What's a fancy piece? Like an Empire biscuit?
No, it's generally that someone would
like a wee cake?
A woman would make at home. And
some fancy pieces?
Yeah.
Or it could be misconstrued.
Basically home bakes.
Home bakes. But if it's taken another way, a fancy piece is a fancy piece.
Bit on the side.
A bit on the side. So, if you hear anyone using the words fancy piece, I didn't tell that to Jay Rayner actually, but I did tell him all about a rowie, and there's been a big debate about rowies as to whether they're made these days with lard, of course, heart attack on a plate, or palm oil.
No, they're not made with lard anymore. I would say 99% of them are made with palm oil because of the the problems with lard. People don't want.
Well, a vegetarian is never going to want lard.
Well, exactly.
So, but when I went to your baker, because I was waiting on the golfer Hand and Foot over the weekend, I went to his favourite buttery baker, and I said, "You are my husband's favourite baker. Do you make your butteries with lard or palm oil?" And he said, "We make our butteries with love." So I thought it was a very good answer. I said, "Well, you didn't answer my question." Anyway, I thought I would...
Palm oil, obviously.
What, darling?
It would be palm oil.
Well, I don't know about that. Maybe because there's veggie ones, but in honour of the humble Northeast Rowie buttery, I thought I would take you back to the 1800s, to a song that generally is sung unaccompanied. I love it. It's about a journey of a whaler. And do you know where Tarwathie is?
Yeah. So,
Well, where is it? You could...
oh, you want me to get involved?
I do want you to get involved. It would be lovely if you got involved.
It's near Strichen. It's somewhere near Strichen.
Yeah, I think it's 2 miles from Strichen in Aberdeenshire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't been there.
I don't think many people, even in Aberdeenshire, have been to Tarwathie.
I doubt it.
But a man called George Scroggie, oh, I think answers are coming in. Oh, my late father, to listen to your dear dad sing. They both did national mods. I just missed that. Oh, Maggie Roberts says, the golfer is so knowledgeable.
Oh, I don't know why
That's a
so
compliment.
Which is so surprised.
Well, and Henry Mackay is watching. Golfer could drop a penny out a 3-storey flat and arch it before it hit the ground.
Yeah. Means avaricious.
Oh, really?
Yes. Aberdonian.
Oh, you're being Aberdonian.
Catch
Okay.
it before it's the ground.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Oh, Leslie Marnock is watching. Good evening, Leslie. Right, so I'm going to sing Farewell to Tarwathie. Do you like that song?
That's very good. Yep.
Well, it dates back to the 1800s, and it was written by George Scroggie, and it's about the journey of a whaler. Farewell to Tarwathie, adieu Mormont Hill, and the dear land of Crimond, I bid ye farewell. I'm bound now for Greenland and ready to sail, in hopes to find riches a-hunting the whale. Farewell to my comrades, for a while we must part, likewise to the dear lass who first won my heart. The cold ice of Greenland my love will not chill, for the longer my absence, the more loving she'll feel. Our ship is wheel-rigged and she's ready to sail. Our crew, they are anxious to follow the whale, where the icebergs do float and the salty winds blow, where the land and the ocean is covered with snow. The cold coast of Greenland is barren and bare, no seed time nor harvest is ever known there, and the birds here sing sweetly on mountain and dale, but there is nae a birdie to sing to the whale. There is no habitation for man to live there. The king of that country is the wild green land bare, and there'll be no temptation to tarry long there. With our ship bumper full, we will homeward repair. Do you know who sang that?
Yes, Joan Baez.
I think Joan Baez did sing it,
Yeah,
but Ewan McCall sang it.
yeah, yeah.
And I think Ewan had probably...
I knew a chap who was a skipper in Shetland who was actually indentured for 3 years to go whaling down in South Georgia.
Really?
This guy, Mackie Poulsen was his name, from Walsey in Shetland, and he was indentured as a 16-year-old to go down to the South Georgia as a young boy, and he did his 3 years down there whaling.
But he did get back safely.
Yeah. Mackie Mackie died about 4 or 5 years ago. When he was a fair age, but I remember him telling me the story that in Shetland, of course, a lot of Shetlanders went down to New Zealand, went all through I suppose the 30s, 40s, 50s. They went to.
But they actually got indentured.
Yeah,
I mean, there was
3 years. He was down there for 3 years. He didn't come home every 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. He was down there for 3 years, South Georgia. And South Georgia, it was a one-horse town. That was it. It was just a factory run by Christian Scientists.
Yeah.
Next song, please.
Oh. Let me see.
Listen,
Let me see. I'll find out if anyone got your... Ella, where are all your guests tonight? Frank and the others. Ella, Neil's got COVID. Frank's playing, I think, up in Nairn, tonight. He's back next week. This is Kitchen Concert number 99. It is just the golfer and me, which we've paired it right back because the golfer isn't very well. Does Francis need a help with the crossword? Maybe he does. Margaret Hine, listening from Scone. Thank you, Margaret. And Alistair McRae. Do any of you know what the balls on the Simnel cake was? That was your question. And a few people, a rowie for me, to the tune of a Gordon for me. A rowie for me, a rowie for me. Thank you, John. So Heather Wiseman is watching, but we want to know the answer, Heather, to what are the balls made of on a Simnel cake? Because for once in my life, I know the answer to the golfer's clue. Kathleen Duffy from Ireland. Oh, how lovely to have you with us. I'll have to think of an Irish song to sing for you. And Kathy Ann Ferguson, lovely to hear every word so clearly. Thank you. Nice to sing unaccompanied. Mary Sandeman also sang it. Yes, you're quite right. Mary sang it. Donna McCormick, welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And marzipan, said Heather Wiseman.
Well
and Anne
done.
Houston, marzipan.
Wiseman
Lorraine
by name
Sandra,
and Wiseman by
hello
nature.
Lorraine. Marzipan, says Elaine. And they're all coming. Marion Mustard says marzipan.
Very good.
Very good. He says it's his favourite thing. Jamie Sutherland's making him a cake that is a Christmas cake for June. Why not?
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months, and you want it covered in like
covered
this
marzipan.
thick marzipan. Brian says, quickly earlier as to why. Oh, I missed that, Brian. Send it to me again. Fiona with 2 F's is watching. Fiona. Richie, hello. Shona says marzipan. Robert and Mary Wilson say marzipan. Your clues may be easy.
What's a coxcomb?
What?
What's a coxcomb? C-O-X-C-O-M-B.
C-O-X-C-O-M-B. What is a coxcomb?
Yeah. We'll see how good they are now.
Right, he's testing you. Now I want to say hello to a gentleman who sent me a lovely message today. Ian David Craig. His mum was a big fan of my dad Callum's back in the day, and he's hoping to come to Braemar in the concert, for the concert, Verlin Thompson's concert on the 21st of May. If any of you are in the area of Braemar at St Margaret's, which is where we went to this, well, I went to this great one-man show of your Last Supper. I'm going to ask you in a minute what your Last Supper might be if I was to cook it for you.
You wouldn't cook it.
Why? I cook for you all the time.
You wouldn't cook it. It's the one thing you won't cook.
What is? Oh, well, I know then what
Kidney
it is.
turbigo with fried bread.
Kidney turbigo. So if the golfers... The golfer's Last Supper, I've just found out, is kidneys...
So you wouldn't be cooking it?
No, I don't like the smell of kidneys. Would you cook kidneys, ladies? Nah.
Actually,
With fried bread, that is heart attack on a plate, but I suppose
well,
if it's your
my
Last Supper, well, you're going to die anyway.
Exactly.
I think mine would be either one of two things. It would be smoked haddock with a parsley sauce, mashed potatoes, and asparagus maybe on the side.
Okay.
But if I was going upmarket, I would go for turbot. Oh, a foot or a dandy. Rooster's comb. Rooster's comb? Cock's comb? A rooster's comb?
No, but the first bit could have been right.
Roosters?
No, a dandy.
Hi, Brian from France. Brian, I did a lovely concert with Brian Click near Kirstein's in France. And Brian, thank you. You've been such a pal, you and Gail, to Kirstein. Thank you. Someone is saying a plant.
No.
Coxcomb is a vain dandy.
Popinjay.
You're quite right.
A popinjay.
A popinjay. Florence, did you know that? Edna, it's when you put a boy's hair standing straight up in the middle of your head.
No.
No,
That's a coxcomb.
Oh, that's a coxcomb.
Yeah, but it is a coxcomb.
But that is a coxcomb.
Yeah, no, that's a different
It's
one.
a quiff of hair on the top of the head. A vain man, says Adeline Ross. Hello, Addie. Mwah. A vain man.
Popinjay.
A popinjay. There's lots of you right. Addie, I hope you're having a great time and not getting too good at golf because I'm useless. Maureen Ritchie, when a baby boy's hair is drawn together from either side, oh, I know that look. That sort of, it's almost like a mini baby Mohican. Oh, Robert Kerr is saying, hi, Maisie. That means I better get on with singing because that means they're starting to sing. Speak to one another. Because I speak too much. Do you think I speak too much? When I was just a little girl, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be pretty? Will I be rich? Here's what she said to me. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. When I grew up and fell in love, I asked my sweetheart, what lies ahead? Will we have rainbows day after day? Here's what my sweetheart said. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Now I have children of my own. They ask their mother, what will I be? Will I be handsome? Will I be rich? I tell them tenderly, que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. Hope you're singing. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Que sera, sera.
Very good, very good. Very good. Hit all the right notes.
I mean, he couldn't care less.
I could. I'm enjoying it. Thoroughly enjoying it.
I mean,
It's good background music for my my brain teaser.
I'm so happy that I'm good background music for your brain teaser. Have you got another brain teaser for us? So there's been a coxcomb is kind of two things, isn't it? It's a vain individual as well as it's a popinjay as well as that cute little tufty bit if you draw your hair. Now Jennifer's saying, think I'd prefer halibut, not turbot, for her Last Supper. Well,
Jennifer,
you know,
what?
Jennifer Patience. She would like halibut more.
It's blander.
It is blander. I'm
Taste of fish.
haddock or turbot.
I
mean, what would your Last Supper be? That is the question. Callum McCall's trying to ring me just now, and I was just speaking about his father, Ewan McCall. That is either an eerie coincidence or not, because it was his dad who sang Farewell to Tarwathie. Anything interesting in the news, says Jamie Alexander. Don't even ask him, because don't ask him. Love Doris Day, so do I. Sang something, oh no, Norrie MacLeod. Roast dinner, says Sarah Walker. That would be her Last Supper. Is that roast beef, Yorkshire? I mean, it gets people chatting. We've over 200 people watching us right now for the 99th concert.
Excellent.
Jamie is wondering, is it not a cake? But maybe that would be part of your Last Supper, Jamie's cake. After you've had the kidneys Tobago, you're allowed a pudding. Dessert, you could have the cake. Sarah Walker, can we have Callum's
with a
Road?
glass.
We'll do that another time. Your newspaper's upside down. Maybe it's...
No, the bit under... No, that's the other bit.
Oh, that's the other bit?
Yeah. I'm fine here.
Oh no, he's watching the other bit. Steak and chips, says Linda. Everything I cook could be my Last Supper, said Ronnie Land. That's a bit sad. Ronnie, stay with us longer. Donna Mathers, watching from Queensland, Slantia. Amazing. Ali Renshaw, more to you. Mince pies, neeps and tatties, mac and cheese with homemade fries. Mince and tatties, hard to beat for your Last Supper. I was amazed at Jay Rayner's concert, or one-man show. Part of his Last Supper was very interesting. It was a bacon sandwich. Beverly, a braai. Yes. Phyllis Urquhart, nice seeing you both. Val says conventionally 11 marzipan balls, something symbolising the 12 apostles minus Judas Iscariot.
That's right.
You're bang on there. I just caught a wee bit of that, but thank you for that.
She is
Oh,
bang
Dover
on.
sole and chips, tartar sauce, your Last Supper. Robert Carr, I know when my supper is ready to have...
Who's that?
Well, I missed that.
Dover
Venison,
sole.
venison, if done right, not smothered in sauce, said Vi. And Alex Cooper. Catherine's watching from Germany. So we've got from New Zealand to Germany. Mince and tatty, says Marion, and white pudding. Can't beat a white pudding. Jean Campbell's, a good plate of tatties and mince. That's the winner at the minute. Fresh West Coast crab claws, says Kathy.
I'm up for that.
And Ferguson. That could be your starter. Scrambled eggs and smoked haddock. Love that. Hard to beat. I mean, coming fast and furious. Well, Jay's book is all about Last Suppers, and it poses the question, because you can have a starter, you can have a main course, and you can have a pudding.
Yeah. And then you burst.
And then you're dead. Right, so what was I going to sing? For the kids, any children watching? 1965, big hit for Ronnie Hilton. This is for Genevieve, Vivian and Sterling if they're watching, because they don't go to bed till about 7 o'clock. The golfer, you have to join in with this. You suggested this.
Look, I'm not singing. My throat.
I know your throat's...
On you go. I'm supporting.
But you can say where, can't you?
Where?
Where? In the song.
Oh, yeah.
A mouse lived in a windmill in old Amsterdam. A windmill with a mouse in it, he wasn't grousing. He sang every morning, how lucky I am, living in a windmill in old Amsterdam. I saw a mouse.
Where?
There on the stair.
Where on the stair?
Right there, a little mouse with clogs on. Well, I declare, going clip, clippity, clop on the stair. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, do, 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 do. A mouse, he got lonesome, so he took him a wife. A windmill with a mouse in is hardly surprising. She sang every morning, how lucky we are, living in a windmill in Amsterdam Yard. I saw a mouse.
Where?
There on the stair.
Whereabouts?
Right there, a little mouse with clogs on. Well, I declare, going clip, clippity, clop on the stair. Do, 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 do. Oh yeah, do, 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 do. A mouse, he lived in a windmill in old Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Pardon?
Amsterdam.
There's nobody there now but a whole lot of mice. That was your choice.
That's very good. Oh, I like that. You sang it very well. 6, 14,
6 across.
15. No, 15.
Give me a word then.
Effacement.
Effacement. How many
Yeah.
letters?
Effacement.
Are you only asking the meaning? Are you wanting? Is it a crossword clue or asking me the meaning of?
Well, what's the meaning of the word effacement?
Adeline? Come along, everyone. Effacement. Now, I know. Morag McKinnon Listenbee wondered, what are you going to sing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. I'm waiting for my kidneys.
He might get his kidneys sooner than he thought. Now, Tom Leslie wrote to me today because I put in GMT rather than BST, which of course is British summertime. And he was pointing out to me the difference between Greenwich Mean Time, which is +1, and British summertime. So if any of you were confused by that, but what I would love you all to do, because next week is the 100th kitchen concert. The only time I didn't do you remember when I didn't do the kitchen concert?
When you didn't do it. Let me think now.
And why did I not do it?
Oh, God.
Let's see if he knows.
99. Not out.
Come along.
When you didn't do it.
Why did I not do a kitchen concert for 2 weeks?
Oh, for 2 weeks.
Yeah, in a row.
You had COVID.
I had COVID, and it was before the injections.
Right.
So
And I shipped you out to Cruden. So
you did nothing. You left me, like you were not a good carer.
No.
Didn't want to get
I
it.
didn't want to get it.
I don't blame you. I missed another one because of bad weather, and then there've been a couple, but we've still totted them all up. And next week we will be 100, and this kitchen will be jumping because it's quite nice to do this week just with my enthusiastic partner here.
Thank you.
But next week we have Neil Selders, Neil Burse, Frank Thompson, Irene Watt, Fergus Much, and a special guest surprise, I'm hoping, if he gets over in time, Verlon Thompson, amazing gentleman, singer-songwriter from Oklahoma, who is coming over to do a week's masterclasses at Kincardine Castle. And then we're doing a fundraising concert for St Margaret's Braemar. So if you're anywhere in the Aberdeen or Aberdeenshire area, May the 21st, if any of my pals could pop it up on the screen. It's very easy to book. We want to do a great fundraiser for St Margaret's, but you'll hear some great music from Verlon. Paul Anderson is coming to play. Fiona Donaldson, Paul's wife, wonderful singer, Bothy Ballad Supreme. They're both going to be there, so it'll be a lovely concert. But in this kitchen, 100 is amazing, because we literally sat near the beginning of lockdown with the dogs on the golfer's lap, him being completely disinterested, and I sang for 3 wonderful ladies at VSA's Voluntary Service Aberdeen's, one of their homes, Broomhill Park, and they love music. So I sang, I did a sort of FaceTime with them, and my daughter said, why don't you do something every week to kind of cheer a few folk up? So in fact, we're now at 100, and it's helped me, I can tell you, because I mean, nobody's that interested in the kitchen, so I just sing away, speak to you, no idea what's going on, doesn't care. So we'll all be in here next week for the 100th, and I'm just going to finish off with a couple of songs. Maybe I thought I would do, would you like some mouth music? Would you like, I'll give you a choice. You could have Here Comes the Sun. No.
Is that George Harrison song?
That's a George Harrison.
I don't like that.
You didn't like that song? Okay, well, I won't do that one. Would you like The Rose? The Bette Midler song, Some Say Love?
No, that's very romantic. I like that one. Yes, I'll pick that one.
Okay, I'll do that one, and then I'll do some mouth music. Would you like that?
Yes, that would be lovely.
Okay. Honest to God, what can I sing? Right, I'll try this and see if I get any reaction.
Go on then.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes a chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give. And the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember, in the winter, far beneath the bitter snows, lies the seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes
Very, that was very nice. Very good.
Thank you. I think the golfer quite liked that.
I did.
Thank you for bearing with us. Please, why don't you share the fact that next week we're 100? I have no idea what the clues will be. I know that our kitchen will be full of joy and music and people who have, I don't know, just helped all of us all through these difficult times and the lockdown times, and the fact that music sort of shines through, drives us through. He's got a bad cough. I hope I don't get you a cough. Oh, God. I hope I don't get that.
So do I.
Separate rooms. What do you think?
Spare room.
Definitely the spare
A
room.
great article about spare rooms at the weekend in the Times.
And what did it say?
It was the Telegraph. It was this woman saying, it was actually very, very. What was her name again? It was some.
What, the spare rooms are good for you?
Yes, you sleep a lot better. And you, snoring and all sorts of things. And what was the woman's name again? It was. Anyway, it was on Telegraph the weekend. It was very funny. It was a very funny article.
What, proclaiming how good spare rooms are, or separate rooms?
How much she enjoyed
having a separate room.
Having a separate room.
Well,
looked like Tim Burton and his wife living in separate houses next door to each other.
So, would you think it'd be a good idea if we lived in separate houses?
Two kitchens.
Oh, 2 kitchens. Okay, finishing with some mouth music. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week. I promise he'll be.
Clean my shoes.
Sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila rukumi, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila boyak, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila rukumi, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila boyak, sauna nila garamanyora rukumi sa hokami, sauna nila garamanyora rukumi sa vami, sauna nila garamanyora rukumi sa hokami, sauna nila garamanyora rukumi sa vami, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila rukumi. Sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila boyak, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila rukumi, sauna nila nila nila, sauna nila boyak. And amiga come just about the book and yes and on, amiga come just about the book and yes and on, amiga come just about the book and yes and on. Bigga man nu very nessa kruvies down, huminya, yes and on, huminya, yes and on, huminya, yes and on. Bigga man nu very nessa kruvies down, amiga come just about the book and yes and on, amiga come just about the book and yes and on, amiga come just about the book and yes and on. Bigga man nu very nessa kruvies down, huminya, yes and on, huminya, yes and on, huminya, yes and on. Bigga man nu very nessa kruvies down.
Very good.
Way! I'll just clap for myself.
Well done.
Well, thank you to the hundreds of people who have joined us live. And I know if you share it with your friends, well, what can I say? 100 next week. Please join us. We might try and make a wee bit of a fundraiser for the Ukraine. I think that would be really good to do that. Please join us, and thank you for staying with us, and thank you for putting up with all this nonsense for at least for 99 concerts. We'll see you next week. Join us then. Bye for now. Darling, would you like to?
Bye.
Do you know, it never gets any better. That's about as good as it gets.